processor. Now we're now sounding out, so I go back to my list, and sometimes it has mouth and point in the same list. All that means is the reading and spelling words are dealing with the same thing. So you'll do one list for spelling and another one for reading. So we'll say this is a reading word. Now, here's what my guy would do. What's the problem there?
Just to clean up.
Too slow. He'll forget the word, etc. So when a kid goes too slow, the first step of getting them to speed it up is to glue the consonant and vowel. That's the bridge to fast. Once they're getting the sounds correctly, I can have them glue that vowel, consonant to the vowel, and go chap. See how that works? Zap. So the transition from the sounds, which is how we start, to start moving the syllable work is you're gluing that vowel to the consonant. Then eventually what I want them to do is go zap. Okay? Now, there's a part in the lessons book that deals with diagnostic syllables. And it's, I think it's on page 18 or so. You guys remember the diagnostic syllables? If not, I'll show you. No? Okay, let me show you. Oh, forgot. I don't have to do the Zoom stuff. It's good to go. That's such a pleasure because I always forget to. Okay. Now, so here's the diagnostic syllables. And this is done in reading the syllables. Okay? So when you're reading syllables, you're going to start on the board. And if they're doing pretty well, you can go right into the concept that they're dealing with. So if they're dealing with concept 1, you can go to this list, number 1. This is list 1 for number 1. This is list 3 for number 1. This is concept 2, teams. Concept 3, hungry. And you can time them. So this is how I'll initially start. Were, as, ras, o, if, z, liz. But, at, Steve, show me the bed. You guys learn the bed? But, show me the bed. What does that look like? The but or the d of the bed? But or a d. Okay. Show me the bed. Oh, it looks like a but. Good. Back, or no, that one that looks like a dip. Looks like a dip.
No, it
So it's
doesn't.
Dex. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, it's about 40 seconds is what they'll often start with. 40, 45. 20 is okay. If you're 20, you're now starting to see more of it. So 15 is good. 10 or less is great. That's what we'd like to get. As your speed of sounds improves, as your speed of syllable improves, guess what else improves? Your speed of reading. Because now when you don't know a word, you're not going but, you're going but at. You're getting much quicker. Okay. So we do a little beat the clock with this. We might do a cold and do a couple times and see. I'll give him a goal. Say he started at 40. I bet you can get to 20. And he'll do 30. I'll say, you think 20 or should we change one? They'll always say, when we are 20. And when I'm first doing it, I'll cheat on the time. I'll just stop the clock early without knowing it. Say, hey, you beat it. And I'll do that a lot in repeated reading where we're really working hard and he's really close. I'll just happen to stop in a couple seconds early. It's all about building the kid's confidence, right? Okay, so these are diagnostic syllables. Well, let me show you. If you can do this, spremoy, spremoy, frymai, bridow, brido, 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 prowsheiks, prushiks, prowsheiks, prowsheks, prusheks, dristy, dristy. This one I didn't do so well on. I mean, you can break on anything. If you don't go insane first. So diagnostic syllables is where the action is. Also, when you got a child who's doing well on the syllables, you don't have to build them on the board. Now with start 1s and 2s, we pretty much live in the board. But a start 3 who's doing well on the blending, and we're like at our family, I'll just go right to the book and have them go Hirsch, Hirsch, or here's the reading, cream, crane, claim, clorn, clarn, and of course here I can enlarge it if I want. Crane, crane, and you can use your computer for this if you want. But I can get twice as many done if I go right to here, right? So we start with the board. Once we're getting better at the board, we'll do diagnostic syllables regularly. And then for the older kids, or as kids move up in the program, they can do it right from the book.
So when you're tutoring in person, are you showing them your lesson book as you do this, or is?
Yeah, I just turn over the lesson book to them when I say, okay, you know what? We're ready to move from here right to the words on the book. Yeah, okay. All right. Let's go back to the plan. Okay. So we did spell and read. Now you guys will want a notebook for the kids where they put their spelling, their writing. And you can also have, if there are some really important words in this book they need to know, you could write those down for vocab. So you could have a little vocab for some problem words, like with my kid, after, a couple of the problem words to work with. Then you have the spelling, where you're dictating spelling words and they're writing it, and then they're writing. Okay. Here's the back side of the board. The back side of the board comes at concept 9D. And these are Latin-based endings and roots and prefixes. But what we're primarily doing, if this kid's like understands language at 6th, 7th grade, they're going to run into words like inventive, famous, repression, nation, reputation, constable, etc. And what we're doing by teaching these is we're opening up these big words. Okay? And on concept 9D, it'll tell you, start with these 4 closed syllables, start with the bottom row. It tells you to do that, right? So here I'll say any consonant in front of this is a ol, so if I put a but there, what is it? Bull. Put a sk there, what is it? Bull. Put a d there, what is it? Oh, we'll go there. Now say, today we're going to put a t there, what is that? Bull. So I want you to imagine it. All right, ibble, ubble, shun, Asian, shun. I might stop there. Prefixes are closed syllables, so we can read them. What's that? And they can read these too if they're closed syllables. I'll just have them read it. And then once we do that, I'll say pull out extendable, and I'll go extendable. Make it extendable, extendable. Make it exruptible, exruptible. Make it exruptation, exruptation. And then I'll just build some words, and I'll read them. Interruptation. Interruption, etc. So you're doing the mouth and then the point. Now with older kids, 6th, 7th, 8th, I start very beginning of my lesson with this because this wins them over. See, many of them had phonics programs that just dealt with book, and they never went further. Like I said, there was this one kid I had who was in another phonics program. They had mastery. So if you couldn't master all your consonant sounds, your suffixes, and your consonant teams, which is my start too, really, they kept you there. He was kept there 3 years. Now keep in mind he had a speech problem. So why he wasn't mastering it is his O was R was R. X was R, L, R. Y was like ah. So I checked his sounds, all his other sounds were great, and he was doing that noise, and then I saw when we went to a book, when he went, he knew it was yet. So I thought, heck with it, we're moving on. So we went ahead, we went from first grade, he was at 1.9 when he started, 4 days later he was at 3.5. Again, keep in mind, he was at the same grade level for 3 years. I tutored his speech therapist during this class. She worked with him. When I came back, he was reading the 6th grade. And that was 6 weeks. He then went on by the end of the year to finish my Tales of Chronicles of Yore, which is a 10th grade. He then went on to British history, American history, so, and graduated with honors and went to college. He was held back because of what's called mastery. He couldn't master these particular, well, he has speech deficit, give him a break, you know? So, a lot of my changes in my program occurred for things like this. This is a mess, it's time for me to clean this thing up. Oh, the reason it looks so crowded is this.
No, it doesn't.
Doesn't look so bad, still not good. If you were in my class, I'd say, count of 3, give me a boo, ready? Boo.